I want to hear what he said because I haven't listened to what he said. Let's go.
Tell me what your reaction is to the arrest of Keefe D.
Well, surprise number one, because I didn't think TPD would never get arrested. Nor do I want to see him get arrested. You know, let's get one thing straight, first and foremost. You know, me and Keefe D played on the same Pop Warner football team.
Wow.
And whatever the circumstances, if he had an involvement with anything, if he didn't have any involvement with anything, who want to see? I wouldn't wish somebody going to prison on my worst enemy.
The DA says that Keefe D was in the car with his nephew, and that presumably his nephew, according to the DA, is the one that shot Tupac, and that it was done with the full knowledge of Keefe. Do they have it right?
It was only two people in the car. And Pac not going to tell the story. I ain't going to tell the story, but I tell you this. And I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando because, number one, he wasn't the shooter. Number two, he came to my hearing and told to let me go and tell the truth. They still didn't let me go.
If you are called to testify in this case,
I didn't know all this.
I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Well, number one, because I'm not going to get on the stand and testify on somebody for what?
They seem to be saying that Orlando was the shooter and Keefe was in on it, that he had full knowledge of what was going down, and it was revenge for Orlando getting beaten up by Tupac and his team at the MGM after the Tyson fight. Is that correct?
No.
Then who shot Tupac?
It wasn't Anderson, so that's all I got to say about that part.
To summarize, you are saying Orlando was not the shooter, although you won't say who the shooter was. You are not saying whether Keefe was involved in any way in the shooting. And you are saying that if you're called to testify by either side, you will not comply. You will not testify. Do I have that right?
1,000%. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't testify. None of
that. Wow. Yo, you know what? Okay, this is kind of personal for me to a certain extent. My dealings when I dealt with Suge, I had no ill or bad dealings with Suge the few times that I was with him. I don't want to see this man die in prison. I don't want to see Suge die in prison. Now I get it. He was the hip hop. Shit, there we go. I'm fucking up. He was a hip hop boogeyman. I get it. He terrorized a lot of people. But on the flip side, he did a lot of good for people. You will not find a bunch of people he didn't help out in times of need. I mean, you know, Jekyll Hyde thing, like as evil as he was, it was as angelic he was to other people. So I personally don't want to see Suge, you know, spend his last days in prison. I would say, man, just go ahead and tell them what they want to know and get the fuck out of prison, man. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. That's me personally. From my dealings with him and Death Row when they were on their down slope. And even though I know my former production partner kind of tried to set me up for some shit, because me and my other partner, we were like, me and my wife was like, she was like, you think he tried to set you up to a certain extent? I was like, he probably did. You know, the more that we sit and think about it and and now he's the one in the ground, which is ironic, right? But I don't wish Suge to spend his what few years left he has in prison. I don't want that for him. I don't want that for him. So I wish he would just go ahead and just tell them what they want to know. I get it. He's different. You know, he cut from a different cloth. That you know, that the street code. I get all that. Trust me, I get all that. I just go ahead and just tell these people what they want to know. Get out of there, man. I don't want you to spend your last good years in prison. You know what I'm saying? That's not no way to go out. So